And we are live. Cool.
Woo!
Yeah. Woo.
Oh god, I can't handle the pressure.
We're on the internet. Everything we say and do will be recorded for all of time.
Ooh, that sounds
Yeah,
dangerous.
but no one will ever watch it, so it's cool. And
Okay, yeah.
did you
I'll take it.
did you cut your video out on purpose, Joel, or
They can only hear me now. They can't see me.
Yeah.
So I just turned that tide.
what are you, John Cena?
Yeah.
Are you John Cena?
They can't see the middle finger that I'm holding up right now.
Yeah.
Or am I?
Or aren't you? All right, cool. So, where are we fictionally? All right. In our Divine Rage campaign, yeah, it's Mordor. Actually, there's two hobbits. They just walked by. So they're carrying a ring. I don't know. They're clamoring on. I think they're gay for each other. It's fine.
Probably.
So,
Yeah,
anyways,
they rub their hairy feet
That's
together.
interesting.
yeah. Comb that foot hair.
Yeah, just the tops though, not the bottoms.
Yeah. So okay, so in our Divine Rage campaign, the main cast they defeated the gods, and as they were doing so, the sort of the castle was starting to crumble around them, but everyone outside doesn't know that. So the layout is you have Lu's army on one side of sort of the castle, and then on the other side of the castle you have Baelor's army. And then there are some other characters out and about throughout the forest. Not many, but they're out there for various reasons. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by introducing the characters that you guys are playing tonight, which have nothing to do with our main cast. They are all support characters that we've run across throughout the campaign. Who wants to go first?
I'm a goblin. My name's Tweeg.
Cool. Cool, Tweeg. All right, so...
Give me your socks.
Yeah. So how old is Tweeg?
Tweeg does not count age. Goblins don't care after 20.
Yeah. Cool. Goblins can't count. Let me write that down.
Yep.
That's gonna
20
make
is
your
legal
roles very
goblin
difficult,
ranking age.
breaking the third wall here.
Yeah. All right. So now Tweeg seems to be a little bit of an older goblin, though, from appearance. Go ahead and describe what Tweeg looks like to me.
Like boogers with a skeleton underneath them.
Gooey.
I don't know.
Gooey. He's gooey.
He's I don't know, that 4.5 foot. He's a little taller, skinnier.
Yeah.
He's a little more intelligent than most goblins.
All right.
He doesn't necessarily enjoy all goblins. He has a different view than most.
Yeah. Okay. He's the educated
Okay.
goblin.
Yes, the rarity.
Yeah. Now, what? Let's see. What class is he?
He identifies as a cleric.
Like a cleric. All right. Shaman, maybe. You know.
Yeah, he's a little mix of everything.
Right. So how did he attain his magical ability? Because as we know, goblins don't innately have magical powers.
That's correct. At a mid-age for him, he came across an item of power.
Okay.
And once he found out that it had power, he sought someone to teach him how to use said power.
Cool. And what is that item?
It is his walking stick with bells on it.
Cool. And who did he get to train him? Where did this training come from?
Well, he first found an old wizard in the woods that trained him a little bit, but he didn't agree with this person and how he conducted himself. So he left that person and he stumbled upon an old aging cleric that showed him a few things as well.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Hence the reason why he's a little different than most.
Yeah. And does this wizard have a name?
He never gave a name.
Okay. And then does the cleric have a name?
Yes, the cleric's name is Steve.
Steve the cleric. Okay.
Steve the cleric.
Steve the cleric. Now, why did Tweeg leave the rest of the goblins? Because it seems like it's pretty rare for goblins to leave the goblin sort of commune.
Well, there was an uprising that not many know of, but some do, and they were trying to bridge worlds, and the way that they decided to do that, Tweeg was very against.
Yeah.
And so Tweeg decided that he wasn't going to have any part of that, and he left.
Yeah, cool. Now, is it hard for him being a goblin, like a sort of an intelligent goblin in the rest of the world?
Yes. First, most people don't want to deal with him at all because most goblins are nasty. And second, goblins themselves, when they hear him speak or how he moves, they can tell that he's more intelligent than them, and that also alienates him from his own kind.
Yeah. Now, what? How did Tweeg come to be on the island?
Tweeg was a hand on a ship. And he found himself delivering a note to the captain, and the captain had to go take care of some business, and he is now on the island.
Cool. And how did he come to be in the employ of the captain?
Well, Tweeg heard of what was happening and actually wanted to be a part of the solution and not the problem. And wasn't really sure how he was going to get on the island, and only had like 30 gold on him, and it wasn't enough for charter. So instead, he offered his services as a way to get to where he wanted to go.
Yeah. Now, on the ship that Tweeg was on, there was recently a number of goblin remains brought to life and then slain. Was he aware that they were goblin remains, or?
He was not aware of the remains until they came to life. Once they came to life, he was aware of the magic, and the chaos, obviously, but he wasn't a part of the remains being on the ship.
Yeah. Now, did he have any feelings one way or another about the goblin remains being used for necromancy?
Not so much that the goblin remains were used. He had more of a problem with the necromancy. It's more of a dark magic, and he doesn't deal in dark magic.
Yeah. Okay. And now Tweeg's place of residence. Tweeg knows Grigori the Orc, so he sort of lives in that town.
Yep.
What was he doing before joining the ship? I mean, what was his purpose in that town?
Tweeg was in that town because it was separate from where he used to live, but it was far enough and close enough that he could keep an eye on his kin without being in their cahoots.
Yeah.
And he was working with Grigori in hopes of stopping them from completing their missions. He was kind of sabotaging things.
Yeah. Now, being sort of a cleric, shaman, wizard hybrid, is there a god that he patronizes or anything like that?
There is no god that he looks to. However, there is a being that grants him power. He doesn't know its name.
Okay. All right. Cool. And is there any other information you'd like to impart to me about Tweeg at this time?
Tweeg is a very nice person, but he still has that goblin nature, and if someone takes advantage of and or threatens his life, he can become very evil.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Nice. Does he feel rapey at all?
No, not at all.
That's the weirdest question to ask.
Goblins?
He did know a centaur at one time that tried to talk him into that, but it's not his deal.
Yeah, it was a centaur married to a gorgon. They had little kids. Oh, that's
good times.
quite the crossover now. All right, cool. All right, so all right, cool. So we got some stuff we know about Tweeg. That's cool. Now, who's next?
Well, I'm Jeff the Gay Minotaur.
Cool.
Hey, Jeff.
All right.
Hello.
Hey.
Cool. So, what is your class?
My class is a fighter.
Cool. Now, Jeff the Minotaur, you are in the employ of Lu, the god, the sort of dryad god who's bringing sort of peace and order by way of regimenting magic to only those that he deems fit. And you're specifically here in this place to as a part of the negotiation of war between Lu and Baelor. Now, how did now this is something that's been going on for about 200 years. The rise of the Minotaurs via Lu the god. So where does Jeff fit in all of this? How is Jeff join the military? What is this?
Military.
Military. Yeah, the military.
Well,
Yeah.
what ended up happening was this is obviously a little closer to time. Jeff's fairly young. He's only about 26.
Yeah.
He was, when Minotaur started rising up in power and getting more, I guess famous, whatever, he ended up being born into a kind of noble Minotaur household.
Okay.
This was a very magic, based household. This was one that was, sanctioned by Lu to produce, magic Minotaurs. Unfortunately, he didn't have any magic potential whatsoever, so they just cast him aside.
Oh no.
So he ended up joining in as a foot soldier to try and regain standing with the society. And when he did that, that's when he met his boyfriend Tyler.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. So so did they met during boot camp or after they'd already been trained, or how did that happen?
It was out on a scouting mission.
Okay. Cool.
They ran into a second party of their, I guess, scouts.
Yeah. Now, what kind of weapon is he using?
He is using a sword,
Okay.
but it is a very large sword with serrated edges.
Okay. All right. Sword. Cool. And where did he get that at?
It was passed to him, not really with ceremony, by his father. That way, he could go off and join the military and try and redeem some honor.
All right. Cool. Now, his particular orientation, is that pretty acceptable amongst the Minotaur race, or how does that work?
In general, it's not really looked well upon. His family didn't care. They don't care what you do as long as you're good in magic.
Yeah.
And if you're not, obviously, just go join boot camp, get out of our face.
Yeah. Okay. And what is the Minotaur culture sort of like at large?
It's mostly a hierarchy based on power.
Yeah.
Granted, with Lu taking control and having magic minotaurs as well, there's kind of a divide in power. Some that are about strength, and then some that are about strength and magic.
Now, relations between the Minotaurs and the Dwarves have been pretty strained as of late. It's kept in check by the presence of Lu. But what is it in particular that the Minotaurs don't like about dwarves?
That's a good question. They have an issue with the pranks they like to play. Granted, it's partially the Minotaur's fault. They're far taller than the dwarves, so they usually end up stepping on them or trampling over them while they're running into battle.
Yeah.
But because of that, the dwarves will end up playing pranks by digging out small holes for them to trip in, or this, that, and the other.
Yeah. Now they're
basically it's just getting harder and harder to deal with them.
Now, the way that the continents are divided, sort of the Minotaurs have about half the continent, and the Dwarves have about half the continent, and they have their own kingdoms, sort of. And so, mostly, I guess, Minotaurs police Minotaurs and Dwarves police Dwarves. But you do have to come together for military, missions and things like that. So it has names. Oh my god, has Jeff been on a lot of missions with dwarves in his short time in the military, or?
He's been on a few. He begrudgingly accepts that the dwarves are there, but he doesn't go out of his way to help them if they're in trouble or anything of that sort.
Okay. And how does Jeff feel about Faye?
Jeff doesn't care if they're there, to be entirely honest.
Yeah.
The only reason he's there to wipe them out is because that's what Lou wants,
Yeah.
and he's trying to regain his honor. So.
Yeah. Well, what does Jeff want most in life, I guess?
Well, what he would like most is for his honor to be restored so that he could get a plot of land and just live peacefully with Tyler.
Okay, cool. Now, Tyler, what's their relationship like? Is it pretty good, or is it rocky? I mean, what's Minotaur love like? Is it like Klingons, where they're kind of brutal and angry all the time?
Very dirty.
Or, yeah, out in the pasture.
It's generally pretty nice. Let's say there's always a lot of butting horns, but it's more out of affection than actual anger.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And now Jeff, where we are sort of fictionally, Jeff has recently been sort of bested by I guess 2 humans and a dwarf, because he challenged them to a duel, which he lost. So how has that been? I mean, it's only been like a day since that happened.
I mean, it's kind of rough. Yeah, he thought he was strong enough to be able to handle it, and apparently he wasn't. But he's not going to begrudge the fact that he was beaten by them.
Yeah.
They were pretty courteous about it. Offered him drink and health potion.
Yeah. Cool. And is there anything else you'd like to tell me about Jeff at this time?
Yes. He occasionally dyes like a bright patch of pink strip on the top of his head.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So that concludes Jeff for now. Let's talk to Temperance Rose. Temperance Rose, let's get some name, age, class.
Temperance Rose goes by Rose. Cleric, female, 40.
Yep.
Average build, pretty short. Real eyes. She's a halfling, literally 1 pointy ear, 1 not pointy ear.
Yeah.
Lavender hair and flowing white robes.
Why is the one ear not pointy?
Because they're a halfling, so it's literally half.
All right. What weapon are you using?
Staff.
All right, cool. And then what's your appearance?
Like I said, she's an average build. She's kind of short. Teal eyes, lavender hair, and flowing white robes.
Yep. And then the god that you serve?
The god I serve is Lunaria.
Yep. All right, cool. And a lot of this we're just recapping because we've just met Temperance in the last session. But so from the last session, there's been a little bit of time. It's been a couple of weeks. Temperance has joined the Balorian cause. What led Rose to join the other sort of Fae in Baelor's grand
Combination
scheme?
of nothing better to do in survival.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, because I mean, obviously Rose has just lost her job at the prison, so
Yeah.
I don't know if lost is the right word, but yeah.
Abandoned.
Can't really have a
whatever.
prison without prisoners now, can you?
Yeah. Well, we don't know that all the we don't know that all, we really don't know that any of the prisoners escaped other than the the two. Um,
We had like a main prisoner get out, so
Yeah.
like,
yeah. Or I guess three
and all
prisoners
fell to
got out.
shit.
Yeah. Um, so I guess you arrived here by boat then.
Yeah.
And were you on a boat with a number of other Fae?
Well, I'm not Fae, I'm half, but
Right.
um, uh, yeah. I mean, there was a few, but it was a real mixed bunch. There was a lot of different people.
Yeah. All magic users, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that you're in sort of the camp, Baylor's camp, is there anything particular you notice? I mean, it's sort of like they're intense, and there's a lot of Fae, and a lot of them are probably run down from being hunted for so long, and there's probably a lot of rhetoric and hate speech.
It looks pretty rough.
Yeah. What's the general feel of the camp?
Hopelessness, disheartened, because
Yeah.
everyone's all like kind of, they've been run through, so
Yeah. All right. Cool.
not a good feeling.
And so Baylor, has Temperance actually met Baylor, or is it one of those things where you've joined the cause but you don't actually meet the leader?
Surprisingly enough, a lot of people have actually met Baylor,
Yeah.
so yes.
He mingles amongst the commoners, trying to rally support, I guess.
Well, yeah, you have to. He feels like you need to make an appearance. You
Yeah.
know,
So
probably smite a few of the followers just to make a point.
Yeah. So what was Rose's impression of Baylor then?
I mean, Rose loves money. Rose loves things to be chaotic and terrible. So
Yeah.
pretty awestruck, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
fangirling a little. It's fine.
Yeah. And let's see.
Lunaria is also pretty chaotic. So
Yeah. So all right. So you're standing outside the main sort of building where the gods are having their discussion about war. What's the chatter? What are people saying about the war? On the magic using side.
I think that people are saying a lot of different things about the war. There's some people that are for it, there's some people who are against it, and the people who are using magic, they obviously think they're in the right, but both sides think they're in the right. So,
Yeah. Cool. And now you've until now been in the employ of the Dwarven Kingdom. Do you have any feelings about going to war with the dwarves?
never really quite felt like I fit in. I'm short for a halfling, but not short for a dwarf. So, I always literally didn't fit in and figuratively didn't fit in. So I don't really have a problem with butting heads with a few dwarves, but I just have to, get lower.
Yeah.
Do so.
Yeah. And are any of the other magic users trained by the nunnery in this camp at all?
No, they're very, holier than thou. I was,
Yeah.
I was probably the worst of the bunch. I mean, there were some of them where they were a little bit on the chaotic side and less on the good side. But for the most part, even if it was just out of fear, they kind of followed what they were supposed to do. And following another god's a big no-no.
Okay. Cool. All right. All right. So, if you all take, well, is there anything else you want to tell me about Temperance at this time?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So, if everyone take just a few minutes and, I'd say write out some bonds, but there's not going to be a lot of bonds to write out.
No bonds this time.
Yeah. There's going to be very, very few bonds as to why you would know each other. So, instead,
Okay.
fill out a bond for another character that is for at least two other characters that are on the island that your character would know. Right? They can be characters that we've already mentioned in the world, or they can be characters you just now make up.
I'm gonna be honest. This is fantastic music.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Is it Bard lore?
It's I don't know. It's nothing else matters.
Hardcore. Sorry.
Yeah, it is bardcore. It is a genre. Yes. Um,
Fantastic.
yeah. All right. Cool. So we got some bonds. So Joel, what is Tweeg's bonds?
Tweeg's bonds are first one is Mist.
Okay.
He is a high level thief guild member,
Mhm.
and Tweeg has had some dealings with him, and he thinks he's a pretty decent guy, and they've helped each other out in the past.
Mhm.
The second one, his name is going to be Terry,
Terry. Okay.
and he is a minotaur in the encampment on the island. And Terry is someone who passes info and gets items that Tweeg needs every once in a while.
Okay.
And they share a drink every so often.
Okay. Cool. So Terry, maybe not. While Terry works for the Minotaurian government, he's sort of like a it's just something he does. It's not like who he is.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Terry the Minotaur. Man, Minotaurs have some Terry, Jeff,
Yep.
Tyler.
They're the basic species.
Yeah, man. Minotaurs are the Chads.
Don't worry.
Chads
There's
are
gonna be another one.
All right, cool. So,
Okay.
So now, Tweeg knows that Mist is here because he was on the boat, obviously.
Correct.
And is Tweeg aware, of the plan that the group had to go sort of join the Minotaurs?
Tweeg is aware that they were there to maybe oppose and or cause an issue with the gods.
Yeah.
He's not really intimately aware of what was going on.
Yeah.
He never asked Mist about it. He's only heard what the rumors were going around in the ship itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. And Terry the Minotaur. All right. Cool. So I think that's pretty good. All right. Then what is Jeff's bonds?
There's a pixie named Charisse that I met and made friends with who lives on the island.
Okay. Cool. Now is Sharice a member of either faction?
No, she's just a free spirit. She just flutters around. Tries
Okay.
not to get her bones made into drugs.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Tweeg's heard that shit's a trip.
Yeah. All right,
You
cool.
Don't mind.
Now is Sharice
That should be a trip.
is Sharice someone that Jeff sort of recently met on the island? Then.
He's been on this island before when they were building the encampment. He met her then. He hasn't seen her since he's been on the island this time, though.
Okay. All right. All right.
Charisse is sassy.
So what did Jeff and Sharice do together?
Just hang out,
Yeah.
talk.
Cool.
Occasionally, he might get like some mild information since she knows what's going on the
Yeah.
island.
Does he ever complain to Sharice about Tyler?
Occasionally.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. And then other bond.
My father, John, was leading a magic regiment on the island.
What's his name?
John.
John. Okay.
Basic.
Yeah, as basic as it can get.
Okay. So he's part of one of the magic troops of the army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's John the Straight Minotaur.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they got it too, right? So now, does Jeff have any brothers or sisters?
Several.
Okay.
Since he's left, he's the oldest. But since he was kicked out, he doesn't know them personally.
Okay. Okay. So, and his relationship with his dad, John, is not great then, I presume?
No, not really.
Yeah. So, but they both know each other or they're on the island.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
They are both part of the military service. It's
Yeah.
just he's higher ranking because he's part of the magic regiment.
All right, cool. Is that it then?
Yeah.
Does Jeff know Terry?
Actually, yeah. Let's say Terry was one of the ones that helped fight in that fight.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. So Terry was part of the brawl.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah, one of the ones who got his butt handed to him.
Poor Terry.
Yeah. Is Terry the one that had his horn cut off?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got a stubby
Poor
horn on one
Terry.
side.
Yeah, because Kadyroth cut one of their horns off. It was pretty frowned
He
upon.
sure did.
I think got a drink in it.
That was poor old Terry.
So Terry maybe doesn't, maybe recently or maybe always has a disdain for humans.
Yeah. I would say
Sure.
so.
Yeah, yeah. All right, cool. All right, cool. And then one of my cats is like meowing.
I'll say one of your cats is mad or something.
Yeah,
Man.
weird. All right, cool. So what kind of bonds does Rose have?
Kai was a dealer I knew that I bargained with when I was sneaking things in and out of the prison.
Kai was?
Yep.
Okay. So now, fictionally, Kai's been on this island for a year, so that had to have been sometime in the past.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't any time recent, but
Okay. So Kai was a
old
dealer.
bonds, so.
Cool, cool. Dealer. And what was Kai dealing? Because
All sorts of stuff. Just kind of whatever he could find.
yeah, because
Sometimes it was like, you'd send out a list. He was on the outside. I was,
Yeah,
on the
'cause-
inside, so.
Kai's
He
like
was getting the double cheeseburgers.
Kai's day job is a barista / bartender. So, all right, cool. So how?
I mean, that was his day job, but yeah.
Yeah. So now, anyone else then?
Melody Song. I was friends with her, and there was a falling out.
Okay, all right. How did you know? How did you meet Melody?
I partied with her at times.
Okay. Was this before she was a follower of Kratos or after?
A little bit of both.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. So you were there for the transition of just regular
Person to murder
reg-
hobo.
reg- regular
She lost her damn mind. It's fine.
regular bard to murder hobo. Cool. Now, I guess Temperance would probably not be aware that Melody was on the island necessarily, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Melody would have been on the opposing side. All right, cool.
Falling out anyway, so.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else then?
No, that's fine. Yeah, we'll go with 2.
All right, cool. All right. So, here's what's happened. I play the music. That's what's happened. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, everyone's sort of standing outside the castle, which is eagerly awaiting the results of the meeting. Suddenly, the ground starts to shake all around. It's like an earthquake, basically. But then it's not long before the castle starts imploding on itself. And it's crumbling inside of itself to the ground.
Special effects.
Yeah. Oh god! Oh no! So as the castle starts to crumble, a fissure opens up in the ground underneath it, and as it happens, these sort of like massive sort of Starship Trooper bug-like creatures start pouring forth in mass from the ground.
Ooh, goblin delicacy.
Yes.
Yeah. These things
I
are
want
huge,
to put a
right?
saddle on it.
They're huge, and they just start sort of slaughtering everything they see left and right, and sort of everyone starts running in all sort of various directions. What is everyone's initial response to this what's going on? Also, so Twig's not outside the castle. Twig's out in the forest, but the same thing is happening all over the island. Fissures are opening from the ground, and these things are emerging everywhere. So, what is everyone's sort of initial reaction and response to these things coming out of the ground?
Twig's initial reaction is holy shit, and he's gonna keep low and quiet and try to stay out of those things' way.
Yeah, okay.
I want to control one, but I'm going to be running in the other direction.
Yeah.
Jeff's gonna grab Tyler, like as far as he can find them, and start bolting for the woods. It might be easier to hide than try to fight these things.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so everyone's running or hiding or just trying to like avoid these things to the best of their ability. Like I said, they're gobbling up people left and right, making this sort of high, screeching, shrill noise as they do so. And the castle has sort of completely disappeared at this point. It's gone. And the ground sort of still shaking, not as bad as it was before, but there are these sort of aftershocks, these rumblings from time to time. You guys sort of get separated from your groups as everyone's sort of just like making mad dashes in various directions. You sort of all run into each other at once in the ruins on the outskirt. And so as you all sort of run up on each other, what's your first interactions?
You. Who are you?
What do you want?
The guy trying not to die.
Hey, the Minotaur. I've heard that if you jump, the trick is to jump into their mouth and get swallowed whole, so you can eat them from the inside out.
Oh, buzz off, midget.
What's Rose's interaction?
I'm just like still trying to find a place to hide, and they're probably looking at me like I'm strange because I'm picking very poor hiding spots.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Out of panic. You know,
Yeah.
I'm typically a smart person, but I'm like hiding behind something that I can't hide behind.
Yeah.
Grabbing a twig, holding it over your head. Just
Yeah. Cool.
Give me a break, I'm drunk.
Yeah. All right, cool. So as you're all sort of in this clearing and sort of the Minotaur and the Goblin are bickering with each other, about that time, one of the smaller creatures shows up, right? And it shows up right in front of you. What is the three of yours response to this thing?
I'm going invisible. That's my response.
What are my choices?
shit,
Okay.
Tyler, hide. Did Tyler actually follow me?
Yeah. Tyler's still with you at the moment.
Okay, like if he disappeared, I would have been like, oh shit, Tyler, fuck. I'm gonna tell Tyler to hide, and I'm gonna pull my sword out.
All right, cool.
I end up finding a better hiding spot.
All right. So, Jeff, where are you hiding at?
See that kind of dark alcove on the left over here? Let's see.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, cool. All right.
Oh.
So now, so for Tweed to go invisible, we're gonna have to do some rolls for that. So you're gonna roll
Sure.
to cast a spell.
Sure. Alright, so cast spells D6 on wisdom.
Yep.
Yeah, that's happening.
All right, cool. So yeah, you go invisible. Cool. So as click the things. All right. So, Jeff, you're looking like you're gonna attack this thing. Is that what you want to do?
Oh yeah,
Cool.
I'm gonna try and draw its attention away.
All right. So let's roll for that then.
That's plus strength, right?
Yeah.
That's a 10.
All right. Yeah. Oh, cool. Then let's roll for some damage on that.
Let's see, it's a D10. 10
Damn!
Dang,
Nice.
Nice.
plus the one from it being serrated, and then when I deal damage, I deal an extra 1d4. So
Alright.
that's 12 damage.
Cool. All right. And then so yeah, describe all that to me.
Fantastic. What does this thing even look like? Is it just like the other ones but smaller?
Yeah. That's all the giant bug
Okay.
creature.
Cool. I'm gonna bum rush it, and when I bum rush it, I'm gonna take a large swipe trying to take one of its claws out.
All right, cool. So yeah, you swipe at it. You sever a claw. From where you severed, a sort of yellow glowing liquid drops out of it, and as it hits the ground, some sort of fumes are coming out of it. You could, as you get just a whiff of them, They choke you up a little bit. You jump back, and you sense that maybe they're a little dangerous. And when you do that, it cries out this just terrible, almost ear-shattering squeal. And about that time, 10 other even smaller ones, just sort of tiny, they're about like maybe 2 foot tall ones, sort of come out of everywhere, and sort of have the area surrounded. And about that time, another earthquake happens. And if I get everyone to roll 2d6 on dexterity for defy danger.
Oh, I do not defy at all.
Yeah, I do. That's a 9. Sweet.
All right, cool. All right, so a piece of stone from the building you're sort of standing under falls on you, Rose.
Okay.
And that hits you for an amount of damage that I will tell you. 4 damage.
Ugh.
That hits you for.
Okay.
Twig, you managed to dodge it, but in your dodge, you do sort of make some noise, and you sort of alerted some of the creatures to your general vicinity. They don't know exactly where you're at, but about 3 of them run sort of towards where your area is, and they're sort of sniffing around, looking for you.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep.
What are we calling these creatures?
Calling them the Horde.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Are the ones we're fighting generally? What are they like? 10 feet, 20 feet, 6 feet?
So
what are we looking at here?
the little one that's facing Jeff, yeah, it's maybe about 10 feet tall. The little ones are about 2 feet tall.
Okay.
So you get about 10 of the little ones and one big one.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Do Twig and Rose do anything at this time?
Well, all right. So I'm going to try to cast fear, cause fear.
Okay.
And it says choose a target that you can see nearby an object,
Mm-hmm.
and it creates a fear. It's your choice whether they flee, panic, beg, or fight.
Okay.
And I can keep it ongoing for a -1.
Okay.
So let's try to cast some fear on a stump that's over there,
A stump?
about 5 feet from me. Yeah.
One of the little ones?
No, like a stump. So I can cast fear on the stump, and they all see the stump and get afraid or mad or whatever. It's your choice.
Okay. Okay. 'Cause,
You-
I guess the way I read it is like you cast it on a being of some sort.
No, it says choose a target you can see and a nearby object. So I can choose
Okay.
what I want to be afraid of what. So the way I read it is like that broomstick over there and that dog now is afraid of that broomstick.
Okay, gotcha.
See what I'm saying?
Okay.
All right, so let's see if I get it. Yeah, that's happening. Oh, that's so happening.
Okay.
All right, so the one of the little ones that's sniffing around me,
Yeah.
that's what I choose.
Okay.
And it can flee, panic, beg, or fight.
Okay. So what do you want it to
That's
do?
the choice. That's your choice, man.
Okay. So we're gonna have it flee. Yeah, one of the little guys, he flees. He runs off, just sort of out of sight almost. And then the others sort of perk up and see him run away in sort of a moment of confusion. While that's happening, is Rose doing anything?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and ready myself to fight just in case. I mean, so I'm going to go to cast a spell, a magic weapon,
Okay.
and that's going to be a 8.
Okay. All right. And then so there's some downsides possibly for rolling an 8. What are they?
Okay. You choose one. You draw unwelcome attention or put yourself on the spot. Casting distance takes an ongoing -1 until the next time you commute, or the spell is revoked. So I choose to take an ongoing -1, but in my advanced moves, I picked Serenity, which is when you cast a spell, you ignore the first -1 penalty.
Okay. All right. So then, you explain how your sort of your weapon lights up from the magic being infused with it.
It starts at the crystal at the top, and it starts glowing with a white light, and it kind of intertwines downward and just kind of imbues it with this holy light.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Now, so Jeff has just jumped back after having had a quick whiff of this fume coming off the yellow blood that's seeped out of the thing. It's cried. The little ones have showed up. What is Jeff doing?
Jeff doesn't like that it can summon more, so he's gonna shout, "Don't huff the fumes," and he's gonna go ahead and attack the big one again.
All right.
Try and take it out.
Yeah.
On a side note, I just read the invisibility thing, and when I cast a spell, it goes away. So
Yeah.
I'm not invisible anymore.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
9.
Oh, and as he yelled, "Don't huff the fumes," I just say, "I've worked in a prison. I've smelled worse."
All right.
Tweak
Cool.
says smells good.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Then roll for damage.
All right, that's D10. That's an 8, plus a D4, and then plus another D4 for scent of blood. My other
Yep. All right.
skill. So
Don't feed
8,
him. He's lying
6,
to you.
and it's serrated, so that's 1, so 15.
Cool. Nice. All right. So yeah, you tell me how you intend to damage it.
I'm going to aim for whatever I can find that might be like a jugular, so it doesn't scream anymore.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try to slash at it.
Okay. So you slash it underneath sort of the throat area.
The lyrics.
Yeah.
Crush the lyrics.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you can do that. Go ahead and swing for it and tell me how you sever its sort of neck area. Not killing it, but certainly damaging.
After it's opened its mouth to scream and it's screamed, I'm gonna check and see where it might have bulged a little bit. And I'm gonna bring my sword down in one clean slash motion.
All right. Cool. So your sword cuts its throat. The resulting cut though causes the some of the blood from its neck area to spray forth. Right.
Ugh.
Now it misses you, right? It goes over your head. But what it
I already
does,
know where this is going. Yep.
what it does is it hits Tyler, who's behind you. Hits Tyler sort of like square in the face.
What the fuck is he behind me? I told him to hide!
Yeah,
And Tyler melts.
Tyler's a dumb F.
Tyler's like, "You can't tell me what to do."
Yeah. So Tyler starts sort of coughing and hacking, and sort of falls to the ground, and he's just sort of coughing and hacking and wheezing. Meanwhile, Tweeg, some of the ones whose attention was diverted by the one running away, have now turned their attention to you. What are you doing?
Oh. Shoot. Hell, I've got one more spell left. I don't think I'm going to try that. I think I'm just going to attack.
Okay, well you can use your spells over and over again as long as they don't go away. So.
Okay. As long as I don't roll a bad roll.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
Neat.
so you can keep casting them.
Nah, I'm going to hack and slash one of those little stupid things.
All right. Cool. Cool.
Alright, so let's see what happens here. Oh, that totally happens. I'm getting some bomb rolls.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Roll for damage.
That's good rolls.
Alright, D6. Oh, I do a 1. There it is.
Yeah. You are sort of a weak little goblin, right? I mean,
Yeah, there it is.
So yeah, describe to me how you sort of bop one in the head or something.
I boop it in its snoot and I make its eyes water.
Yeah, you boop it in its snoot. All right, yeah. So you boop one of the little ones in the snoot. It makes a tiny little cry, and but the other one that's sort of right there at you is starts sort of chittering and making some really odd noises. In the meantime, Rose, about 3 of these guys have sort of targeted onto you from your glowing light. What do you want to do?
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to attack him now. So I don't attack him.
Ho ho.
There we go.
Ooh. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
What was going to be your attack?
Well, I was gonna, take out my stick and whack him with it.
Yeah.
Beat him with the stick.
Yeah. So you go to whack one with a stick, and it catches your stick in its mouth. And the other 2 jump on the stick and run up towards your arm, and they both sort of get you sort of in the face and chest as they run up the stick towards you.
Not gonna lie, you're horrifyingly strong. If these things are 2 feet tall and running up your stick, you're just like, Ugh.
Yeah. But it happens so fast, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna take I hit roll. Jesus.
Damn.
You take 7 damage.
Holy crap.
From that. Each of them get a D4. They roll really well. I don't know. So you'll take 7 damage. You can deduct any armor from that as you get attacked. So what is Jiff doing? Tyler is sort of like struggling to breathe on the ground.
Okay. Well, since I'm not sure what this is that's on him, I'm just gonna hope it's a poison, and I'm gonna dump my antitoxin down his throat.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully that'll help him.
You have killed your boyfriend.
Let's roll. Yeah. Let's roll.
I was waiting for it too.
On
That's never a good noise.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure what stat this would be.
Wouldn't it be intelligence or wisdom? Like,
no, because it's
determined.
Really, I'm
See,
literally just dumping in.
you don't know what it's doing. I know what it's doing. Let's roll on Constitution or no Charisma. Let's roll on Charisma for your ability to make this happen.
Sweet, flat rate. 7.
Cool. So you go to pour it down his throat. You get it about half of it pouring down his throat, and then he swats at it and knocks it out of your hand. As he does that, he plants a knife sort of right in your sort of like upper shoulder bicep area.
I'm gonna shout, "Now's not the time for foreplay!"
Yeah. You take just 1 damage minus the armor you have. You have a pretty massive pecs, so probably doesn't hurt you. But
That's my foreplay.
as he raises his head to look you in the eye, you notice his eyes are glowing yellow, and there's tears coming from them, and he sort of tells you, "Kill me now before I do any more damage."
That's hardcore.
Twig's telling you he's turning into a zombie or some shit.
Well, it looks like you got to put him down. That's all I have
did
to say.
just use my turn, so I've got to wait till next turn before
Yeah.
I do anything.
So what is Tweak doing?
Twig is not liking the chittering that's going on next to him, like at all.
Yeah.
So he points at that bastard and he tries to throw a fireball at it.
All right, cool. Yeah, roll for that.
Yeah! Alright, so I have a thing that's called Empower, and this is whenever I cast a spell on 10 plus, I can choose an effect if I take a 7 or 9 consequence. And I'm going to choose that the spell's targets are doubled.
Okay.
So both the little bastards in front of me are getting hit, and I'm going to choose the draw unwelcomed attention or put myself on the spot.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right. And so Fireball inflicts 2d6 of damage, which ignores armor.
Yep.
So let's see here. Yeah, 4.
All right, cool. So you're gonna sort of set these things ablaze. It's not gonna necessarily kill them, but it's gonna hurt them really bad. Um, so tell me how it goes off.
Uh, I give him the middle finger, and out of my staff comes 2 balls of fire and hits him right square in the face.
I fully expected to come out of your middle finger.
Cool, yeah, yeah. So
Next time I'll do the pew 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 for you.
yeah, they light up like little Christmas trees, and it's burning them pretty bad. But the shrill screeches that come out of them has alerted the large one to your presence, and it starts galloping in your direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
While they're just sort of on fire at the moment.
Cool.
What is Rose doing, having just been attacked by 2 of these?
So I don't die. I'm gonna drop my
Worries
magic
me.
weapon
Damn.
spell, and I'm going to cure light wounds on myself.
Okay.
Wait, are you already almost dead?
No, but I'm gonna make sure I don't get there because another few bad rolls, you know.
Okay, you just said just so I don't die. I was like, holy crap.
So it'll be a 9.
All right. Cool. And then there's a consequence. What consequence are you gonna take?
Um,
I'm going dark, but I'll be right back. I can
Yep.
still hear you.
the negative +1, negative with a -1 ongoing, which ignores itself on the first roll.
Okay.
What's the bet? Taking your pants off.
And also, there's another thing where it says invigorate. When you heal someone, they take a +2 to their, to their next damage dealt.
Okay. All right.
So, now let's see. How do I cure? Okay, 1d8. A 7. Awesome. All right.
Cool.
Now we're doing something.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. So you've dropped your weapon, you said?
Drop
Oh.
the magic from it,
Okay.
so I didn't have the penalty for the roll.
All right. So the one still has it in his mouth, right? And you're holding on to the other end while sort of curing yourself. All right. Cool. What is Jeff doing with his sort of boyfriend staring him in the eyes, crying
Kill me.
with a knife in his biceps, telling him basically to kill him?
This isn't good. Jeff really doesn't want to.
All right. He doesn't have to.
He knows he has to.
Look at the flowers, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, look at the flowers, Tyler. And when I kill him, I'm just gonna put my sword on his neck and then push down both hands. Just
Okay. So like a bar almost.
yeah,
Okay. Are you severing his head, or is it you just cutting his throat?
severing his head.
Keep his
Okay.
head as a trophy.
Cool.
Keep his head.
So that's gonna be a strength roll. So let's roll for that on the strength.
10.
Cool. All right.
Jeez.
He's
Yeah.
meant to be like basically damaged. So
Yeah. So you cut his head off, and just after you cut his head off, for a brief second, the head rolls around, looks up at you with tears in its eyes, and it says, "Why don't
Oh,
you
sure.
love me?" And then like the glow fades, and he goes limp. Yeah. How's Jeff doing?
Rough day.
Yeah,
That was cold.
Jeff's having a bad day.
Jeff's
Yeah.
not gonna use his sword anymore. Jeff's gonna tear them.
Bad time.
Yeah, cool. Tweeg, this thing is now galloping towards you. Before you take your turn, could I get you to roll 2d6 on dexterity for Defy Danger?
Yeah, okay. Yes! Let me check my dex. I don't know what it is on this one. It's a +1! That's a 9!
All right, cool. All right, so the thing goes to swipe with its remaining good claw at your head to try and clamp it off. You do dodge it. You'll sort of take just a slight amount of damage.
It'll be 4 if you're rolling a d4.
Yeah. So tell me how you escape the clamping, but how you get injured in some way.
Okay, so I see this thing coming, and I don't want any part of it. So I turn to run, and because we're in this like swampy looking nastiness, I catch a root, and my foot is kind of bound. And as I'm struggling to pull it out, this thing swipes down, and at the last second, my foot lets go. But it glances off me and throws me to the side.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, and you just take look. There you go. 1 damage.
I really thought I was gonna be more than that.
So yeah, nothing too terrible on that. As you roll on the ground.
Tweak does better than miss. That's good.
Yeah. And the fire on the other two has satiated. They're sort of stumbling around, but they are still alive. Meanwhile, what is Rose doing with this? She's got the one with the sticky. In fact, let me get you a roll Defy Danger with your strength on that. Actually,
With strength? Okay.
Yep.
That's a 7.
Cool. So the thing goes to tug the staff out of your hands, but you do manage to wrestle it free. But sort of as you do, your staff hits you in the face as you've jerked it back and it's let go. And you're going to take a wee bit of damage on that. 2 damage. You can deduct any armor from that.
Okay.
The other 2 that attacked you are now behind you, and you're surrounded. What do you do?
Well, I won't do any decent damage without imbuing my weapon, so I'm going to have to try to do that again.
Okay.
Okay, so I have an 8 on that.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that I want to take the -1 again. Hopefully, though, like this time, I'll actually get to use it more than once. So I imbue it again. You know, it starts to power up with that holy light and stuff like that. But it's flickering a little, you know, because obviously, you know, it wasn't a full-on charge, which would be a 10+.
Yeah.
So it's powerful, but not as powerful as it could be. So the first rolls or first attack's going to be pretty powerful, but then after that, it'll be a little weaker.
Yep. All right. Cool. All right. So now, Jeff, there were 10 of these little ones originally. 2 of them are still on Mist area now with the large one. 3 of them are with Rose, but there are 4 others, and you've drawn their attention. Your little sort of back and forth with Tyler has sort of left you unguarded, and you've now got these things closing in on you. What are you doing?
Jeff doesn't care about them. He's rushing the big one.
Okay. All right.
You bastard!
So in order to rush the big one, I'm going to need you to roll Defy Danger to get out of the grasp of these little ones. So roll Defy Danger with your dexterity or strength.
7.
Oh no.
With strength.
Okay.
Forcing my way through.
Yep. All right. All right. So the 7, you're going to take basically some scrapes or whatever, but nothing major. Let's roll for that real quick. For deducting armor. These 4 things go to leap on you. Tell me how you sort of knock them out of the way, taking a little bit of damage.
They leap on me while I'm still down, and because I'm just a giant fucking minotaur, I just hurl them off of me and start charging the large one.
All right, cool. And then
You have grief adrenaline.
And then roll strength for your attack on the large one then.
9.
All right. And then roll for damage.
D10, D4, and +1, so 8.
All right, cool. Let me do the mathematics. Cool. And how do you attack it?
Well, since it's now facing away from me, I'm stabbing it directly in the ass area.
Cool. Cool. Do you catch it in the bug sphincter?
Wherever that may be.
Cool.
Stab in its general direction.
Well, do you see a bug sphincter? Let's.
I see a hole.
Hold on.
and
I would
stab.
say that he can definitely find
I was about to say, I think that Jeff's pretty comfortable with finding orifices.
do you want to roll discern realities to see if you find a sphincter?
Can you find?
Yeah.
It sounds like a bad game show.
Yeah.
Can you find the butthole?
Listen, I will give you a +1 for being a pro at finding sphincters. So a +1 to your roll.
He found it.
Yeah, cool.
I stab it directly in the sphincter.
So so this is on discern realities is plus your wisdom. What's your wisdom
Oh, that's
rating?
a flat rate.
Okay, so 7 +1 will be an 8. So yeah, you see the sphincter and you describe it to me. Describe the sphincter poking.
While I'm charging up, I put one hand on the back of the blade, or on the back of the handle, and when I get to the sphincter, I shove and then spin.
As you go.
Cool. So yeah, as you do so, you're causing it some pretty immense pain, but you also sort of release some of what's in the sphincter. So you do get sprayed with bug fecal matter, I guess, and so that's you're going to take an ongoing -1 to charisma for right now. Yeah.
Sweet.
Covered in shit.
Yeah, because you're covered in feces.
Well, it's not like I haven't been covered in bullshit before.
Anyways,
That was good.
so yeah, okay. So yeah, you're obviously covering this thing some pretty severe discomfort. It would be at a disadvantage for the time being. What is Tweeg doing?
Let's see. Tweeg just got over with that big one that just got stabbed in the ass. Tweeg is going to. Let's see. Tweeg is going to throw another fireball at the big one.
Okay.
Oh, that totally happens.
All right.
So with my 2 on wisdom, that is a 10.
Okay.
I am going to choose to empower it again by taking a negative to it, and I'm going to do that draw unwelcome attention again.
Yep.
And this time, though, I'm going to the spell's effects are doubled.
Okay. So both of them at the same target then?
Well, it says, which I didn't read this before and I really should have. It says you invoke a mighty fireball that envelops the target and anyone nearby.
Oh.
Don't worry, Jeff's already flaming.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. So roll for damage.
Cool. That would be a 7, sir.
All right, cool.
So those 2 little guys and the big one, right?
Yeah,
And then Jeff is near.
Yep. So as you invoke the fireball, it hits the big one and then bursts out from him in all directions. So he takes the salmon damage, and so yep. All right, cool. And the other 2, they fall over dead as they sort of burn into sort of ashes. And then Jeff also ignites on fire, taking 7 damage. So currently Jeff is on fire. Jeff, what do you?
The flaming gay minotaur.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jeff.
In case you haven't noticed, fire lighting.
Yeah. So what is Jeff's response to being lit on fire?
Screaming. He's very angry. Screaming, this girl is on fire.
Yeah.
Like,
Cool.
this party's lit.
Yeah. All right. What is Rose doing in the meantime?
It's time to pull out the holy fly swatter.
The holy hand grenade of Antioch.
The counting shall be 3.
It's 8. I got an 8 on it. I got an 8 on my attack.
Okay, cool. And then roll for damage.
Alright, so it's going to be a 6, a 4, and a +1. +2, actually. So it's 7 damage.
Cool. Now you've got 3 of them around you. Which one are you choosing? The one in front of you or the 2 behind you?
Whichever one just looks the stupidest. Let's just... the middle one, sure.
One currently has a sword in his ass.
The one in front of you.
Yeah, the one directly in front of me. Just like... Because we're just playing whack-a-mole. It's the path of least resistance.
Yeah, and that was 7 damage? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you'll murder it.
Cool.
Yeah. So tell me how you murder it, and then I'll tell you how things go slightly wrong.
Well, I'm basically just hammering at it, just like I said, just basically just a holy mallet, just whack-a-mole with this, makeshift fly swatter.
Cool. So yeah, you're sort of you murder it, right? And it dies. It's sort of a squishy mess. As you do so, obviously the yellow fumes are coming up from it, from the blood and whatnot. But while that's happening, the 2 behind you, each of them grab you by your legs and drag you into the sort of abandoned building just behind you.
I don't consent.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I think I've seen it in something like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Can
Thank God they don't have tentacles.
Yeah. Well, we'll come back to that. So, Jeff, who is on fire, what are you doing?
Well, it's not like I can really help. My sword is currently inside of a bug.
Put your
Damn
mic down.
There you go.
My sword is currently inside of a bug, so
Right.
I assume I'm just going to continue attacking by ripping it out.
You could pull the sword out in a way that damages the bug. Sure.
It's Beyblade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to put one hand on its back and legitimately just rip the sword out of it for damage.
All right.
2d6.
Cat shark.
Yeah.
For a 7.
All right. Cool. So then roll for damage.
Alright, d10, and then Merciless and Scent of Blood, so 2d4, and then +1, so 15 more damage.
Jesus. All right. Cool. Guess
I
what?
set him up specifically to do damage.
Guess what? You're gonna murder it. So tell me how you murder it by pulling a sword out of its butthole.
I begin pulling it out, but it gets lodged, so instead of continuing to pull forward out, I just push it down and rip through its back.
Ugh. Okay. Yeah. You sort of tear it open, but as you
You were
do
covered
so,
in poop.
as you do so, the yellow blood spills all over the place, fumes noxiously coming up from it, and as you sort of dart back out of the way, 2 of the little ones that you had shaken off earlier were directly behind you. You trip over them, falling backwards, and the other 2 jump on top of you and start scratching at you, and they're going to do 3 damage total between the 2 of them to you, as they're sort of on top of you, scratching at your body and face. But you're no longer on fire, so
That's good.
there's that. So
Fantastic.
yeah. So, Tweeg, what are you up to right now?
Tweeg is going to yell at Jeff and say, I am very sorry. Didn't realize that was going to happen. And then he's going to... what is he going to do? Well, he's just going to hack and slash... I don't know. All the things are dead by me, aren't they?
In your
The
general,
4 things.
yeah, there's the 4 things sort of right around Jeff, which are fairly close to you at this point. And then
Okay.
Temperance has been dragged into a
Oh, a building. That's right.
Building,
Yeah, that's not
but
good.
that's a little ways from you.
Run to save the sex slave.
I don't want to be a xenomorph host.
All right, so all right, I'm going to try to make the building cause fear to the creature that's dragging Temperance
Okay.
away.
Well, she's already in the building, so she's in there with him. But
Oh, I understand that.
Okay.
That's an 8,
You're just like, poof.
and so one of those suckers is going to be afraid of that, and I'm going to
Okay.
choose to draw unwelcome attention.
Yep. Cool.
You just see one run out. Ah!
So yeah.
He can flee, panic, or fight the building.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? He starts fighting the building, right?
Yeah, well, there you go, Temperance. One of them is now fighting the
Thank
building.
you.
You're welcome.
You cause fear. Temperance, one of the ones inside the building that is with you, lets go of your leg and starts attacking the building.
Sweet. I don't know why, but I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that was a weird turn of events, but awesome.
Yeah. But so while you're casting the spell, the two that Jeff had tripped over, sort of leap into the air at you, and we'll come back to that.
Cool.
Rose, let me get you to roll Defy Danger.
Okay.
Do that with your Constitution.
Oh, good. Constitution. Whew. That's a 10.
Cool. Yeah. So the other one that's like pulled you into the building, it sort of has climbed on top of you, and it has like a little stinger on it, and it goes to sort of sting you in the abdominal area. But
God, no.
but you rolled a 10, so
Okay.
you managed to knock it off. Do you want to describe that to me? Like your
Yeah,
character's
I
reaction?
used my stick and I'm just like, yeet, and just
Yeah.
throw it into the wall.
Yeah. So you knock it into the wall, and roll a d6 on damage for that, for hitting the wall.
6? Yeah.
Yeah, cool. It dies when it hits the wall. It sort of hits the wall, cracked, and splatters. The room does start filling up with noxious fumes, though, as it's
Yeah,
done.
definitely
So
gotta get out of here.
yeah. So what do you do? It is now technically time for your turn.
I gotta run out of that building because I'm not gonna be fucking beheaded by Jeff or whoever. I mean,
Yeah.
before they dragged me off, I saw what happened.
Yeah, so as you exit the building, you run by the one that's attacking the building from the inside, and you exit the building, as it's just sitting there like clawing at the stone.
Cool, yeah. Just let little dum dum do its job.
Yeah, sure. Jeff, what are you doing? You got these two guys on top of you scratching at you.
I guess I'm just gonna try to attack one of them.
Cool.
9.
All right, and then roll for damage.
D10, D4. So that's 10 damage.
All right, cool. So you're gonna murder the one you hit at. How do you do it?
While they're clawing at me, I'm gonna take my sword. And I'm gonna swing it up and around, and the one that's on my left side, he's right-handed. There we go. That makes more sense. I'm gonna stab the one on my left-hand side.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you stab it. It goes clean through. Once again, some noxious fumes start pouring out. But as you do so, you've sort of wrapped your arm around the other one. And it reaches up and sort of bites you in the bicep, and it is now sort of like attached to your bicep, like a tick almost.
Oh, I'm gonna squeeze that bitch.
Yeah. What is Tweeg up to?
Tweeg is afraid of the ones that are jumping at him right now.
Yep,
He's not digging that too much.
They're coming right at you.
Yeah, so he's gonna try to go invisible and dodge them,
Okay.
and that is happening with a 10.
All right. Cool. Yeah. So describe your phase into invisibility.
All right, so I see him, and I just kind of twist and roll out of the way as I cast my spell, and I just disappear, gone.
Yep. So they land in the spot where you were, and then sort of just start frantically looking in all directions, trying to figure out where it is you've gone to. They can probably smell you to some degree, so they sense your presence in the area. That they're a little confused as to exactly where you are. In the meantime, Rose, you've run out of the building to find Jeff on the ground with a bug on his sword and one attached to his bicep. Tweeg is nowhere to be found with two little ones sort of looking around confused. What are you doing?
I guess I'm going to attack the one that's not attached to him, because, I don't want to accidentally whack Jeff with a stick. He's already been set on fire.
Yeah, poor bastard.
Yeah. Alright, let's see how that goes.
The other one's dead, isn't it?
Yeah, you just have one on you, yeah.
Yeah.
There's certainly only
The
three.
other one's on the sword, it's just dead.
Yeah, there's only 3 of these things in play right now.
Okay,
2 are looking for me and 1's on a sword.
Yeah.
But you said that I don't see the ones on Tweeg.
No,
There's not
you don't see Tweeg. You just see the 2 that were in the area that he was in, sort of looking around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to accidentally hit Jeff, so I'll take on one of the ones that's looking around confused, trying to find Tweeg.
Okay.
Alright, so let's see if I... Nope, I don't. I sure don't.
Cool. So as you go to sort of like attack one of them that is in that general area, it hears your sort of heavy footsteps. You're small, but you're very heavy-footed when you walk and run, being a halfling. So as you sort of run up, they hear you, and one jumps on top of the other's back, and then it leaps forward, grabbing your stick at sort of mid-swing. And as it grabs your stick, it breezes by you, pulling your stick back, pulling you to the ground, and then the other one starts biting your leg, and you take just 1 damage. You take the armor from that,
cool.
as it's sort of gnawing on your leg.
So it just more annoys me than anything.
Yeah. So what is Jeff up to now?
Well, Jeff is, I guess, going to attack the other one, not with the sword. He's going to let go of the sword, kind of roll into a standing position with this thing, and just bicep squeeze.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a 9.
All right, cool. And then roll for damage.
D10, D4, and +1 is 6.
Okay. So yeah, you're gonna crush its outer sort of exoskeleton as you squeeze it. But when you do, obviously once again this yellow blood that it has, fluorescent yellow blood, gets on you and starts releasing fumes, and you sort of start breathing them in. When you do, you feel sort of like your whole nervous system starts sort of almost like tingling and breaking down, bringing you to your knees, and you start hearing sort of this inner voice that tells you to kill all the intruders as you're on the ground. While that's going on, what is Tweeg up to?
Well, Tweeg is invisible, and he'd like to take this time to drop the cause sphere and get ready to cast, get one prepared, a different spell prepared.
Okay, all right.
So he's going to drop cause sphere, and he's going to start preparing something called magic weapon.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. What is magic weapon?
It says the weapon you hold to do damage does an extra 1d4 until I dismiss the spell. While the spell is being used, it's ongoing. You take a -1 to cast other spells.
Yep. So you can go ahead and cast that if you want.
But then I go on invisible, so screw it, I'll do that.
Okay.
So I cast that onto my staff.
Okay, roll for it.
Yeah, that's a 10.
Cool.
2 clerics, 2 magic staffs. Time for whack-a-mole.
So yeah, then yeah, describe to me how your staff is imbued with this power.
So it starts to slightly glow, and the bells on top start to hum.
Okay.
They don't jingle; they just hum at a very low frequency.
Okay.
Almost, if you weren't listening, you wouldn't hear it.
Okay. All right. Cool. So what's Rose doing at this point in time?
I'm gonna have to try to fight these things off of me again. So let's. And I don't.
Cool.
Cool. Not good.
Yeah. So the one on top of you, it's sort of still attacking you. Or the one, sorry, that grabbed your stick and pulled you down. Sort of crawls on top of you, and the one sort of gnawing on your leg is still sort of gnawing on it and shaking it, almost like a dog shakes like a rag doll or something at your leg. So you take an additional 4 damage from the one that's gnawing on you. And let me get you to roll Defy Danger with Constitution, please.
Oh no. 8.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So the one on top of you, sort of like before, has a stinger, and it sort of goes to sting your abdominal area. Now you do manage to swat it away, but not before getting a slight prick in your hand. So it does not stab you in the abdominal area. You just sort of get pricked in the hand, and when that happens, go ahead and roll for damage for swatting it away.
All right. That's a 5.
Cool. So when you do that, the stinger does break off and sticks in your hand, and when the bug sort of falls off of you from swatting it, it just sort of falls over limp from after the stinger is sort of broken off of it. And that's the other one still sort of like going to town on your leg. What is Jeff up to? Actually, Jeff, let me get you to roll 2d6 on Constitution for Defy Danger.
That's a 9.
Cool. So with force of will, you do sort of start regaining your consciousness from this thing that is trying to like govern you. But it will take the rest of your turn to do that, so you'll lose sort of the rest of your turn while you're fighting off this mental oppression. What is Tweeg doing?
Tweeg is not liking how all this is happening right now.
Yeah.
So Tweeg is going to attack one of the whatever these things are called, the horde.
Yeah. Well, I guess we only have one left, right? It's the one on Amanda's leg. So.
Right. So I'm going to try to kill that thing.
Yeah.
Please do.
And it's not happening.
Yep.
My hand might be pregnant. I'm
Yep.
scared.
So I go to whack that thing, and I guess it doesn't happen.
Yeah. So you sort of go to whack it. It turns, grabbing your staff in its hand, and jerking your staff out of your hand, tossing it a couple of feet into the distance.
That's sad.
Yeah. And so you are currently without step, which also means you're without magical ability, as it is the focal of your magic.
Oh, wonderful.
Yep. But Temperance, Rose, you've just had this thing beaten off of you. You do have a stinger sort of stuck in your hand at the moment. What are you doing?
In my bag, is there such a thing as like a bug-related morning after pill? Like
That's not a thing you would prepare. No.
Adventuring gear. Bug spray, just drink it.
God, I don't know. Like, is there a discern reality? Can I like find out what's going on with my hand? Since like, maybe as a chaplain, I may have some medical training. Like,
You can draw on
Discern reality, or like
discern
I want to see what's
realities
going on with this shit.
on general insect lore. There'd be no mention of these creatures in any sort of like recent text or anything. So
Okay, so and what do I be rolling this on? Wisdom?
wisdom, yeah.
I don't know jack fucking shit.
Yeah, cool. Cool, yeah.
Go
you
to
know,
Amazon and buy some weighted dice.
well, no, actually, actually,
I usually don't have bad rolls, but tonight is just not.
it's not that you know nothing. It's that here's what you know, right? With like a lot of insects, bees, things like that, that you need to remove the stinger and suck out the poison, right? So that's what you know.
Okay.
So what do you do with that information?
Is there a safe way to suction the poison at all? Like,
Yeah, mouth on
could
hand.
somebody
Suck
else
it out.
roll like their wisdom on that? Because like I know I'm gonna have to remove the stinger. That I can and will do. But like I need somebody. I'm gonna be like, hey guys, can somebody like maybe like search in their memory banks to see if there's a safe way to remove this poison?
Tweak
all
knows
this-
general things about poison, but
That'd be cool. Yeah, please let me know.
is it poison or venom, Mike?
You don't know.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then I'll tell you. If it's poison and you suck it out and get it in your mouth, you'll get sick as shit and die. If it's venom, as long as you don't swallow it, you're cool.
I don't know you saying that out loud.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But like I said, you strongly feel with your knowledge that you're pulling the stinger out and sucking out the poison is the best option.
Okay, well then I guess I do that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So you jerk the stinger out, and you start sucking out the poison, with your own
You
mouth.
had a bad roll.
Yeah.
It's the way he worded that. It's not good.
Yeah. Let me get you to roll 2d6 on Defy Danger with your Constitution.
Of course, yeah. Why not? That's a 9. Okay. Whew.
Okay, cool.
Oh my gosh.
So you suck the poison out. You immediately know once it's your mouth that you shouldn't have it in there. You spit it out. There is some residual effect. You're feeling a little drunk at the moment.
Drunk? Well, I mean, I
Ooh,
was.
fairy bone swap.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. So you'll take a -1 to your spell casting for the next 3 spells, while you're recovering from this whatever.
The next 3 spells or the next 3 turns?
3 spells.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Jeff, what's up?
Well, there's still one more, right?
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna struggle up onto my feet, yank my sword out of this one, and chop at the last one.
All right.
Like, crank it open and drink it? Like.
Yeah.
That's an 11.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll for damage then.
D10, D4, plus 1, that's 8.
Cool. So yeah, you're gonna murder it. So tell me how it happens.
While yanking out the sword, I'm not even gonna walk up and chop it. I'm literally just gonna hurl the sword and pin it to the ground.
All right, cool. So you toss your sword, it hits it, pins it to the ground, and it just dies on the spot. Once again, blood and some like yellow fume kind of rising up from it as that happens. But otherwise, your area is now sort of nearly devoid of creatures. As you all take just a moment to rest, the one that was attacking the building, who is no longer afraid of the building, emerges.
That's correct.
Emerges from the doorway, sort of like SpongeBob in the caveman. He just runs out and looks in all directions, and then sees the 3 of you, and then sort
Flip
of
at the bird.
starts running in your direction with a sort of cry of anger or whatever. Tweeg, what's
Remind
happening?
me of buildings!
Tweeg's going to grab his staff,
Okay.
seeing as how there's nothing to stop him from doing that.
Yep.
And he's going to try to hurl a fireball at that little bastard.
Okay.
That's a 7.
Okay. So yeah, so you go ahead and roll for damage too.
That is a 4.
All right, and then tell me what your negative is going to be.
Unwanted attention.
Yeah. All
Or
right. Cool. So the you sort of run, grab your staff, very quickly toss the fireball, and sort of in your haste, it wasn't as calculated a decision as maybe you normally would have made. The bug jumps in the air as the fireball hits it, but the flaming bug lands on you.
Yes,
Fire
this is
and
great.
all. Yeah, and it lands on your head. If you had hair, it would be in your hair, but you don't have hair.
I don't know. I'm a
no.
goblin. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but so you have a flaming bug on your head, and so the bug takes 4 damage. It's pretty hurt, but then you will take 2 fire damage. So ignore your armor on that. As this flaming bug is now just on your head. What is Rose up to?
So, considering that my staff's going all janky and stuff like that, I'm gonna pull an IT move because like I said, I'd be on a -1 anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try turning it off and back on again.
Okay.
So, I am basically unimbuing it with the magic because the magic's all janky, and it's gonna be janky some more because we're basically recalibrating this dang staff.
All right.
So let's try to roll for something a little bit better on this one, like to get it turned back on, and probably, we'll see.
Now you'll take a -1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it actually comes down to a 9. It was gonna be a 10, but it's a 9.
Okay. Yeah. So what negative are you taking?
The -1 ongoing that is canceled out by the first run.
Okay. All right. So and then yeah. Okay. So your staff becomes imbued with power once again. Obviously, it's a drain on your magical ability.
It's still flickery and stuff, and I'm smacking the side of it.
Jeff, what's happening?
Well, Jeff's not going for the sword. The thing's on top of twigs, so I'm just gonna run up and try to punt it.
All right. So are you like roundhousing, or how's this happening?
Oh, no,
How
no,
are you doing that?
It's full foot underneath, just like a football held up. I'm just kicking the shit out of it.
Okay. I mean, Twig is short and you are tall, so let's see if that happens. Roll for some strength and whatnot.
That's a 10.
Cool. All right. And roll for damage.
D10, D4. That +1, that's 7.
All right. Cool. Yeah, you'll kill it. So yeah, describe the whole action.
Well, I see the flaming thing launch itself onto Twig. So I start making a mad dash, and once I get up to it, I just haul back and kick it directly back into the building.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah. Cool. So you kick,
Goal.
yeah, you kick the flaming creature into the doorway, and it sort of crackles and breaks into pieces over there. And Tweeg, this has just been kicked off of you. What is how is Tweeg reacting to this whole thing?
Tweeg is amazed that his head is still attached to his shoulders.
Yeah.
And just kind of sits there with a look on his face of confused, relieved, and like, holy shit, did that just happen?
I will say that I did take a running start, so one of my feet is on one side of you, and my other foot's on the other side. So
Yeah, maybe I'll rub my cheek on your
Have a
giant
good beer.
horse chest.
Cool. All right, so the battle is essentially over. What are you guys doing to collect yourselves?
Since
I immediately start digging a grave.
okay.
That's right.
yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Wow,
We can
sorry,
make-
we're such assholes. We totally forgot. I guess for me, like I said, because things are going janky, I'm just gonna like unimbue the staff again, but this time I'm gonna try to heal myself just a little bit. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that -1, and it's gonna be a 6.
Cool.
Oh no!
So yeah,
Do not heal myself.
you lose that spell. It's gone.
Oh, the cure light wounds.
Yep. You
Okay,
lose it
wow.
until a further time in which you can repair it, which will be not right now. So you guys.
Tweeg wants to do something.
Yeah.
Tweeg wants to try to discern realities or spout lore, or something that will help us understand what these creatures' blood is doing to all of us,
Yeah.
or has done to us. Is that possible?
And the stinger shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of that weird shit.
So you
I'm
can-
also gonna tell them generally that was fucking weird.
Yeah, so you won't have any text or anything to help you out, but maybe you could examine, I guess, the creatures and see if there's anything you learn from examining them.
All right, let's do that.
And I'll tell them what the weird poison stinger juice
Nope.
tastes like, feels like, that sort of thing, because I feel like
we're
that
not
might
gonna learn
help.
shit. So
Yeah, you're,
Cool. That
you're,
tells us nothing.
you're pretty unversed on bug anatomy, so you know nothing. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So you're all sort of here right now. Is the goal to get off the island as these things are starting to overrun it? What do you guys? Do you guys join forces? What's the conversation between your characters right now?
Tweeg, is general instinct is to get the hell off this island.
Yeah.
Because he just witnessed a whole lot of really scary shit, and he's been around for a while, and he'd like to continue to do so.
Yeah.
Man, I
so
don't
he's
want to
gonna
be here with these shrimp with
he's
crab
going
claws.
to tell both Jeff and Temperance here that if we can, there is a ship docked on shore. Last I knew, that I am absolutely positive I can get us a ride on.
Sweet. Please do.
Yeah. How's Jeff doing right now?
Jeff had no choice.
Yeah.
Just speaking in third person.
Jeff,
Jeff had no
angry.
choice.
Cool.
Jeff hurt.
Jeff really wants to kill these things, but he knows that he's gonna need more help to kill these things. So he's more than happy to get off the island and start building a troop
Yeah.
to revenge Tyler.
Sure. All right, cool. So you guys, now Tweak would know sort of the general direction of the ship. So is that what you start heading in then?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So heading towards the ship, you're gonna have to pass through like the forest and sort of an open plains area. So as you sort of start exiting the ruins into the forest, you sort of make your way in. I click things. So you're in the forest. So as you're walking through the forest, you actually come across some stuff that you find mildly disturbing as you're walking through. The first thing you come across as you're walking through the forest are what look like to be mangled and cannibalized rat men.
Okay.
So there are these just like rat
I know
men
where this is
bodies,
going.
rat men bodies just on the ground, it just looks like they've been brutalized, but by like some humanoid figures. It's very odd.
There's an oddly pelvis-shaped mark in a tree.
Yeah. So you keep making your way through the woods, and the other sort of scene that you come across that's also a little disturbing. There is a murdered family of halflings. Some of them with their heads bitten off. Some of them with
Looks like he's been sucked dry. That's
yeah,
gross.
I mean, there's one that's like been sucked dry. They've got bite marks all over them. Looks like some of them have even been impaled by their own weapons.
Jeff's just like, these things are so vicious.
Their houses are trashed, and it's pretty gruesome. Do your characters have any thoughts at this moment as you're sort of passing this?
Is there anything cool to loot?
No, it's been pretty ransacked. There's nothing
Okay.
really.
All right.
Tweeg feels that something very unholy happened here, and
Yeah,
it makes him very, very uncomfortable.
yeah, for sure.
Jeff just assumes that the bugs are smarter than they appear.
Yeah.
Reminds me of home.
Slaughtered halflings reminds you of home. Oh, cool. All right.
You need it for decor.
And as you traverse sort of further into the forest, You making your way back. You come across a dead T-Rex family. There was like a mama T-Rex and two baby T-Rexes. The mama T-Rex has been disemboweled. The baby T-Rex is one of them is missing a tail. And there's kind of a pile of like 3-day-old dinosaur feces, but it looks like something's been rolling around in it. Yeah.
Somebody's into some weird shit out here.
Yeah.
Guys, there's a face print and stuff in that poop over there.
Yeah,
What the hell?
So you sort of make your way by that, and you come to sort of like this this slight clearing area, but when you get there, you start hearing some like rustling all around you, and what do you do as you hear the rustling?
Pull the sword out, slam it in the ground.
Twig casts invisibility. That's what he does.
Let's roll for that.
He's done with this crazy shit. That's a 7.
Okay, all right. And what's the negative you're gonna take from that?
Unwanted attention.
Which is what you were trying to avoid.
Well, they might know where I'm at, but they won't see me. So it's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah,
I'll take
cool.
that.
So you cast your magic, slipping out of visibility, but as soon as you do, a number of fey creatures burst out from the trees, and one of them is sort of this. It's like a large, sort of demonic wing looking creature, like a male succubus kind of, I guess. And he
An incubus. Yeah.
and he takes a big whiff in the air and he says, "I smell magic." And beside him are an elf and a naga. I don't know if you know what a naga is. It's sort of like a
Snake.
scaly sort of fish, snaky creature.
Fishkin.
Yeah. So you get the elf, the naga, and the male succubus, so they sort of look at your hodgepodge makeup of characters, and
I look back at the incubus.
the incubus. He immediately points at you. And he says, "Minotaur, it's the enemy." So how does Jeff respond to that?
We fighting or fucking?
Roll on charisma.
Like a soul is a small price to pay.
Got a -1 right now
Yeah.
because of the poop.
Yeah, you got a -1 in charisma. Let's roll on that.
Maybe he's into that.
Jeez.
That's 4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not into that.
Yeah, so the incubus looks just very disgusted at your comment in general, and he takes in the big whiff and he says, "What is that smell? I always knew minotaurs were filthy creatures, but I didn't know they bathed in their own feces." And about that time, the elf is sort of looking at the guy, looking at Tweeg. Well, no, looking at because Tweeg just fades out of existence. Looking
That's
at
right.
Temperance. He says, "Look, he's even got a pet halfling. Filthy creatures like vermin." Temperance, how do you take this information?
You still don't have a goldfish as a sidekick.
We are a sassy group.
Yeah.
In the
I'm
distance,
still drunk,
they hear
so
this
of
like
course
little
I'm
whisper. It's
sassy.
like, "Oh, burn!"
The
I'm still
They're
drunk
just looking around like,
from,
what the hell
from
was that?
fucking Stinger juice.
yeah. So the naga on
Burn a
hearing
stove rough,
your fish comment, sort of hisses at you, and says basically that you look like a snack, but not like not a snack, but like something he wants to eat. Yeah.
The bad kind of snack.
Yeah, the bad kind of
Eat
snack.
shit. That's gross.
Yeah. Well, the Temperance isn't covered in feces. So,
I have no poop on me.
yeah.
It's just this is Jeff.
So any more particular comments or things you want to do at this very second?
Nope.
Cool.
I'm gonna offer him a fistful of bug shit, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So as sort of this banter is going forth, suddenly y'all hear a large rustling in the forest. Very quickly headed your direction. What do you do?
I'm like, oh fuck, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, Tweak
He's
like pulls on Temperance's like arm and whispers to her, is like, "We got to get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Cool. So let me get everyone to roll 2d6 on your dex for Defy Danger.
12.
Yeah.
And my dex is a 7. Woo!
Sorry, guys.
All right. What'd you get to?
I got a 6.
Cool. All right. So as you all sort of go to run away, the incubus sort of casts a ring of fire that surrounds you guys and them, and so Jeff jumps out of the way in time, no problems taken there. Tweeg, also sensing the magic, steps back. He gets a very slight singe, so just 1 damage, fire damage. But
I'm too drunk to sense things.
the flames completely engulf Rose as she just sort of walks right into them. And she takes some damage. You're gonna take just 1 fire damage though. You'll be alright.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she's high on that stinger juice.
And they as you
Damn Magikarp and his group.
as you turn back to look at the group of Fae, just behind them emerges one of the large bug creatures, and as you look at them, their eyes all immediately start glowing yellow, and then they all speak in unison, and they say, "We are Legion, and you will join the collective."
Oh, I hear what's going on now. All right.
I say no and fuck you.
Yeah.
Tweak just
Bye,
like
Magikarp.
nopes out of there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're surrounded by fire right now. That's what
Tweak will take the damage.
I guess I just screaming
take
and
the
like running
damage.
through. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So are you sprinting through the fire to sort of exit that scenario?
I'm already on
Not
fire.
like I
Like
haven't
what?
been on fire.
You're gonna
plus
have
fire.
to fight a 50-foot fucking bug monster and these 3 assholes,
Yeah.
or
I'm already
get
on
burned by
fire.
possibly
I'm just like,
4
let's roll on through.
4 more damage. Yeah, I'm out.
Okay, cool. Then you're all just sort of accepting the damage as it is then. So let's roll for damage.
Burn, baby, burn.
Yeah. So the both of you are going to take 3 fire damage as you run through the flames. And as you sprint away from these 3 characters and the giant bug monster, that's what we'll close for the evening and pick up next week. So,
Cool.
So no stop, drop, and roll before we end it.
yeah,
We're running fast enough. It got put out.
yeah, you're running fast enough to fan the flames and make them worse. No, I mean. To put
Okay,
them
cool. Yeah.
I double hit the hit points, so instead of going from 16 to 13, I went from 16 to 143, and I'm like, shit,
Good
superpowers.
Yeah. So yeah, your characters are sort of trying to flee that situation, and that's it. So next week we'll resume with the escape back to
Shouldn't the most appropriate name for this not be the Horde, but the Flood?
It's the
Yeah,
Horde.
fucking right.
They're the Horde.
I feel like it's more like the Flood.
Look, man.
It's pretty bloody.
Look, man. You want to name stuff? You start your own game, all right?
Yeah, Hordes are a bunch of weird shit, but like Flood takes